How do you get your kid to be an MLB pitcher? Here's what the experts say. I got to have a conversation with coaching legend Tom House, and that gives me 3 pieces of advice for you guys. 1 to do with arm care, another with the mental side of the game, and finally, the physical side of the game. How do we get our kid to be an MLB pitcher? Well, obviously genetics plays a role, but these 3 things will give you your best shot. Tip number 1 for arm care. Throw more often, but pitch less often. After this conversation with Tom House, doctor, pitching expert, not just pitching expert, but a throwing expert. He's worked with NFL quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Drew Brees. Tom says that most child injuries occur not when pitchers are playing catch, but when they are pitching off of an elevated mound. So it's his recommendation that players, especially youth players, throw more often on flat ground. Limit their amount of throws when pitching from a mound. Throw more often, but pitch less. Tip number 2. Now this has to do with the mental side of the game. Just let them have fun. Don't put extra pressure on them. When parents are not breathing down kids' backs, they just perform better, and this is coming from the experts. If they don't have fun with the game, they're not going to play very long. So mentally, the best thing you can do for your kids is love them unconditionally and support them no matter what. Just be their biggest cheerleaders on the sidelines. Tip number 3, this is a physical tip. How do we develop young pitchers to have good mechanics? This is where I recommend that you utilize some technology tools to help your kids learn proper mechanics. If you watch videos of pitchers back in the 20s, they were probably just as athletic as we are now, but they did not have nearly as good of mechanics to where I would have been the hardest thrower on the planet back then. So what has changed? Access to technology so that we can have better mechanics. Dr. Tom House developed the app Mustard, which is specifically designed to help pitchers' throwing mechanics match up more with big leaguers and ultimately just become more efficient. Whether or not you choose to use this app or just review video footage, one way or another, compare yourself to the pros and utilize video for physical mechanical feedback, and that will go a long way, especially over the course of a few years. So if I had a kid, that's how I would get him to be an MLB pitcher. As always, I'm Coach RAC with Headbanger Sports. Let's grow.